Hey, you possum peeps. Today is Monday, January 29th, 2024, and you're watching The Weekly Paw. Hi, my name is Sean Patrick Hillman. I'm the editor-in-chief and co-publisher of Pet Lifestyles magazine. Sorry we're about 4 days late on this, folks, but 2 weeks in, and I am still suffering from the aftermath of this damn flu that's been going around. You know, Friday and all weekend was just a disaster for me. Again, look, it's not COVID. It's some variant of the flu that's been going around, and I swear to God, it sticks to you like glue. I know one person I spoke with had it for about a month, where they kept feeling the effects, and it kept coming around like a boomerang, hitting you in the head and in the chest. So do yourself a favor. Get the damn flu shot. Because, frankly, I can only imagine how bad this would have been had I not gotten it. So get the damn shot. Trust me, you'll feel a lot better. Even if you do get infected, the actual symptoms won't be as bad. So let's just pretend today is last Friday and go from there. On to the news. A few weeks ago, I had posted on our social channels about a new book that highlights pets at New York firehouses. It was by photographer Emmy Park. Well, the publisher sent me a copy of the book, and wow, what I had seen online does not do this thing justice at all. It's a stunningly pawesome book in both its content and the quality of the press itself. I mean, I'm not going to go through every page, on here. You can do that yourself. But as you can see, the photographs are stunning. The stories are incredibly sweet. And the quality of this book, of the press itself, is just really pawesome. So check that out when you get a chance at the URL on your screen. It's interesting. I used to be an EMT for the New York City Fire Department when they took over the EMS system in the 90s. So this book is especially important to me. And the photographs and the stories make me smile and tear up at the same time, thinking about just how important and how beautiful the bonds between our firefighters and their pets are. It's an incredibly honest look at such an important relationship. So please check that out today. This time of year is always challenging for pet parents. From the unpredictable weather to the effects of days with less light, winter is a difficult time of year to navigate. Now, folks, I'm about to talk about tips and things like that. I reached out to our official dog training partner, Kate Perry Dog Training, as usual, to get some tips to help you guys through this difficult time. Bear in mind, a lot of these tips are very common sense, and you've heard me make them. You heard me make them last year for Pet Lifestyle, or not for Pet Lifestyle, for New York Lifestyles magazine, and some other things. Folks, a lot of the tips don't change, but I have to remind you because, and I've been guilty of this myself, so I know. You forget year over year what you have to do because you're not doing it every day. And winter over the last several years has been very short in a place like New York City. So, one example I can give you is perfect. After 702 days, we finally had a meaningful snowfall last week in New York City. As a result, I live in Stuytown, so our community puts out a lot of salt. And granted, it is actually pet-friendly salt. But the granules can often get stuck in between toes on paws. And if it's not pet-friendly snow melt or salt, it can actually burn their paws. So be mindful of that. Booties are an absolute must. Last week we put paws boots on Brie. They're rubber things that you can put over their paw. Very easy to put on, very easy to take off if you know what you're doing. But it's always funny watching when you first put them on your dog, how they walk. I mean, sometimes they lift up their paw all the way and they try and walk like this. It's a very cute thing to laugh at. It's not funny at the end of the day, but it is still very sweet. And last week was certainly no different. So be mindful. As you can see the tips on your screen, again, they're pretty common sense. Unfortunately, a lot of these tips are going to go into the next issue of Pet Lifestyles magazine. That doesn't come out for another 3 weeks. So in the interim, I've written a story with these helpful hints in the Pet Lifestyles section of the February issue of our sister magazine, New York Lifestyles magazine. Now on February 1st, head over to NewYorkLifestylesMagazine.com and click on Pets to see the story. By the way, before I forget, on top of being the editor-in-chief and co-publisher for Pet Lifestyles, I am officially now the managing editor and co-publisher of New York Lifestyles magazine as well. So you will hear me on the Weekly Paw talk about both publications from time to time. Obviously, the focus for this is on Pet Lifestyles, but you'll hear me reference New York Lifestyles every so often. Now, speaking of things I've mentioned before, you have heard me talk about these folks at Big Spoon Roasters. Remember a few months back when I had Brie, who had try what had been touted as the most amazing peanut butter for dogs. Now, that was their banana flax wag butter. And she went absolutely crazy over what we now call puppy crack. Well, by the way, before I really dive into this, I have to give a shout out to Andrea Weigl, who does the PR for Big Spoon Roasters. Because of her, I am now spending time bonding with Brie at Big Spoon Roasters Anonymous, because she and I are both addicted. No, I am kidding. Last week, I saw that Big Spoon Roasters released a new seasonally limited batch peanut butter for humans called Cowgirl Cookie. Now, of course, I had to post this on all of our social channels across both magazines because their products are really just that damn good. Well, next thing I know, I got a note from Andrea thanking me, and she's sending me some Cowgirl Cookie for me to try, and a surprise treat for Brie. Well, it arrived a couple of days ago. Check this out. While I may not be a fan of the pumpkin spice craze, pumpkin spice everything, Brioreo sure as hell seems to be a huge fan of this flavor. Check it out. So, thank you, Andrea, for furthering our addiction. Folks, you have got to head over to bigspoonroasters.com to get some of this amazing nut butter for both you and your forever one. It's absolutely, their products are just amazing. And I have to say, this Cowgirl Cookie is so delicious. And remember, it's a seasonal limited batch, so it's not going to be out for long. So check that out. I have to say, absolutely brilliant, high quality, abso-friggin-lutely delicious products. You have to check this out today. Okay, let's do a check-in on how the Rahr is holding up 2 weeks into Brie receiving it. Well, as you can see, so far, no dents, no tears. She's actually, she plays with it multiple times a day, every day. As you can see on your screen, she loves it. Hey, Brie. You enjoying the Rahr? Can I have the Rahr? Give me the Rahr. Oh, give me that Rahr. Give me that Rahr. Oh. I want the Rahr. Oh. And she even sleeps with it. Now, as I'm holding this in my hand, it just, it's still very tough. It's in great shape. So far, the Rahr performs as promised. Indestructible. Now, as I said before, I've known Tara Harper Rahr for a long time. So I told her last week, I'm going to keep updating our readers and viewers about this amazing toy's progress with Brie. My hope is that it really is, permanently indestructible with respect to a dog, because Brie genuinely loves this toy. And again, to call this a ball would be an insult to this amazing invention. It is definitely called the Rahr. We will keep you posted. Last week, our packmates over at Best Friends Animal Society were talking about some beautiful matches between adopter and adoptee that they wanted to share in honor of Valentine's Day. Well, there was one story in particular that caught my eye. There was a dog named Nacho who arrived at Best Friends Animal Society in New York. Now, he had crazy puppy energy, and which, let's be honest, is often the cutest thing in the world. Except when you have a lot of folks who just don't know how to deal with that, or they don't know how to, to play for hours on end, or how to exercise the dog out of that energy. So a lot of adopters passed over Nacho. Well, one potential decided to give it a run for his money. Ron was curious about this handsome boy, so they went for a trial walk. Except being the seasoned marathon runner he is, he watched as Nacho literally happily ran alongside him. That was it. That sealed the deal. Now they go on daily runs together while Ron trains for his next race. Now, folks, believe it or not, like this story with respect to Nacho and Ron, you can find your perfect match at shelters and rescues across the country. You know, folks, this morning I ran into a gentleman who he had a dog growing up. He's never been a solo dog parent. In other words, I have to assume he's in his mid-20s. He never had a dog on his own before. So he had his first one. It was a puppy. He affectionately named it Hobbs, after Calvin and Hobbes. He was a big fan as a kid, as of today. Now, I bring this up for one very simple reason. The last comment I made. You can, in fact, find your perfect match. The reality is that it's going to take some work. And I have often found in my life that if you're patient and you understand how pets work, how dogs work, you got to follow your gut. And if you fall in love with that forever one, grab it while you can. Adopt it, love it, live with it, enjoy it, treat it as a member of your family. And that's exactly what this gentleman, his name was Ben, it's exactly what he's going through now. He's trying to figure it all out. And my point is simple. Nothing is easy when it comes, easy in terms of it's just instant everything. It's not. Having a dog, adopting a dog or a cat or a rabbit or any animal is work. And granted, it's pleasing work, but it's still work. And if you're not willing to put the time or the energy in, then I'm sorry to say a pet is not for you, especially in 2024. So, Ben, good luck with Hobbs. And, with Nacho and Ron, there are so many stories like that. You should head over to bestfriends.org and check that out because they have a section called Stories. And a couple months ago, I think I went through some of the stories that they have on their website, and they're absolutely beautiful. But what they do, what these stories do, is tell you how important and how beautiful a relationship with a dog, especially an adopted dog, can be. So, in honor of that Valentine's Day love story, let's focus on the facility that Nacho came from. Welcome to this week's Furry Friday. This is the part of the episode when I talk about a rescue or a shelter and their populations that are up for adoption. Now, since Nacho came from the Best Friends Animal Society location in New York, we're going to focus this week on them. By the way, I have gotten a few messages from viewers asking why we don't show more cats. So, this week, your wish is my command. First up is Fanta, a 6-year-old orange and white tabby male. They think he was born in December 2017. Now, like all of the animals at Best Friends, he's been neutered, microchipped, dewormed, and is up to date on vaccines. So, such a little cutie. Next up is Bronco, a 1-year-old domestic short-hair male. Bronco is a shy guy and will need a bit of extra time to settle in to his new home. He's a loving and gentle. Once he's comfortable, he loves chin scratches. He's fearful and will need time to adjust and understand he can trust his new home. Now, that's not any different for any other animal, folks. It can take up to 3 months for a dog, as an example, to trust and feel like, okay, I'm here, this is my new home. Now, like all cats and kittens, Bronco is going to need lots of socialization, playtime, and love. So, again, one of the many reasons why I love rescues and shelters is because 99.9% of the time, all the vaccines are up to date, they've been neutered or spayed, they've been microchipped, and that is an incredibly high value proposition to get people to come in and adopt versus going to a puppy mill or a breeder, things like that. Now, let's talk about the facility. Best Friends Animal Society Pet Lifesaving Center in New York is located at 307 West Broadway in Soho. I talk about Best Friends a lot for a reason. Brilliant organization with such a pawesome team running it. And this Lifesaving Center location is no different than the sanctuary out in Utah. Same values, same protocols, same love and compassion for the voiceless. Please consider donating to, adopting from, or volunteering at Best Friends New York today. Or if you don't live in the New York City area, go to bestfriends.org and find out how you can help them achieve their no-kill nation goal by next year. They also have other Pet Life Saving Center locations, so check that out. Okay, welcome to this week's TGI Furry. It's the part of the episode where I show various memes I've collected throughout the week to end on a smile or a laugh. Hopefully, I have done just that this week. And again, guys, sorry for the voice going up and down. It's just still trying to get over this damn flu. Stay pawesome, folks. We will actually see you this Friday.